It's your boy Dusty Demon, and you're now watching Demon Time with Dutch. On this episode of Street Stories Uncut, we're gonna keep it over East Baltimore with it. Now, at this particular time, I was 16. It's the same year I went to prison. Got into a lot of stuff that year. But this situation is a little different, right? They had a high school party. Now, what this is they would rent out a hall, and then you would have to have a high school ID to get in. All the high schools come and be in attendance. The parties be packed. It'd be wild. It'd be fun, right? Hey, bumper club music and there, reggae, everything, right? So anyway, my homeboy Fat Meech used to be my best friend back in the day when I was young, right? My dog still to this day. His father had the hoopy. His father dropped us off at the party, right? Boom. So we in the party. We go in there. We was a little early. We take the back wall. We was watching everybody come in, see who coming in, right? Seeing a couple of my boys come in. They came over with us. Now we probably like 9 deep in the corner, just rapping, looking at checking the girls out, just watching the ambiance. You know what I mean? Chilling for real. So while I'm chilling in the corner now, the party is packed. It's packed to the rim. I'm chilling in the corner, right? I noticed this girl to the left of me, bad, but she turning down everybody that walk up to her and try to dance. She hitting them with that, no thank you, right? She light skinned, pretty brown eyes, thick, had the blonde hair, and I'm talking about a beast, right? But I ain't about to say nothing to her, 'cause I turned down like 6 people. So I go back to talking to my dogs. Now I'm facing this way talking to them about something that happened in school, and they looking behind me this way, and they can see the girl behind me, right? So they like, that shorty looking you up and down, boy. So I'm like, oh. They like, light bright, looking you up and down, boy. So now I really think they playing with me, right? But I don't go ahead and sneak a peek to see if they lying or not, right? So I look over there, she looking right at me. So now I'm like, oh, okay. But I'm still like, I don't want to say nothing to her, man, 'cause she just really turned down 6 people in front of me, right? So I go back to talking to my dog. Now, while we talking, every couple of minutes, I'll go ahead and sneak a look at shorty, right? And I notice that she be a little bit more closer to me every time I look over there, right? So I be fake talking a little bit, look back over there, she be closer and closer. Till finally, I look over the last time, she right next to me. Like right on my side. So it's like I had to say something to her. So I'm like, what's up with you? She had the prettiest eyes. She like, nothing for real. So I'm like, what's your name? She like, my name Kendra. So I'm like, what school you go to? She was like, Lock Raven. So I'm like, okay. She asked me my name. I tell her my name Dutch. She like, no, what's your real name? I tell her my real name. She laughed and all that, right? But I could see she had the pretty braces in, you know what I mean? You know, back in the day, we thought braces was cute. They still is. But anyway, I asked her for a number. She gives it to me with no problem. Then that song, No Letting Go, No, that came on, and she asked me to dance. So I'm like, all right, so we on the wall, you know what I mean, doing that, right? We grinding. Right? So long story short, me and her grinding on each other and danced together the whole night. I didn't get to dance with no other girl. She ain't danced with nobody else. We sat there dancing and talking, whispering in each other's ear the whole night, right? So when it got a little late and the party was over, the DJ cut the lights on, cut the music off, cut the lights on. Because I forgot to mention, it was real dark in there. They just had them green and red lights flashing in there. It was dark. So when he cut the lights on, shorty like, let me get that number back. So I'm like, oh. I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, I'm ugly or something? She was like, nah, let me get that back and let me give you the real one. So I'm like, the real one? She was like, yeah, I had to see you when the lights came on. So boom, we exchanged the numbers or whatever. We parted ways. She got her ride, went home. My boy forward picked us up. I went home, right? He dropped me off. As soon as I get in the house, she called me though. We talking on the phone. She calls her boyfriend at the time on a 3-way with me on there and tell me to be quiet and breaks up with him while I'm on the phone. I'm done laughing on me. He crying, talking about why you leave me and all that. She talking about we can't be together no more. Then hung up on me, right? Then clicked over with me and like, see, I'm for real. So I'm like, well, are you my girl then? So we start going together. So we talking on the phone for like a month later. I went to Lake, she went to Lock Raven, so we really ain't see each other like that. But we was talking on the phone the whole time. So one day, I goes to over the house. She only lets me on the porch, right? So her mother come out like, who's you? Who this is? Who this, Kendra? Mind you, I got this tattoo on my face, looking like a criminal. I used to rap and stuff, so I'm trying to get her to go to the studio with me. Her mother is not having it. She ain't going nowhere. You look too old. I showed her my school ID and all that. She's still like, well, you just look old. I know you're young, but you look old. But anyway, we had to plan around that then. So we devised a plan for her to come over my house. So this where the story get crazy. We was both gonna hook school and not go, and then she was gonna come over my house, right? So boom, she like meet me at North Avenue. I'ma catch the 8, right? So she catches the 8 down to North Avenue. I catches the 13 down to the 8, right? And wait there for her. So I'm waiting at the 8 by the graveyard, North Avenue, Greenmount, right? I'm waiting down there, right? I sees the 8 come down. She get off the number 8. But when she get off the number 8, it's not her. But it looked just like her. But it's not her. She got the same pretty eyes, same face, but she way smaller, no breasts, no backside for real. Like the girl I saw, it was obviously not the same girl, but somebody that looked like this girl. So now I'm in my mind like, who's this girl? She looked right at me and was like, what's up, Dutch? I do not know this girl. But she knew exactly who I was. So we start walking up the street to my house. This girl shorter and everything. This not the girl, but she looked just like her in the face, right? But I'm still a nigga. In my mind, I'm thinking like, that ain't Kendra. I don't know what type of games they playing, but I'm gonna hit something. I'm hitting somebody. So I'm gonna play along with it. So we get to the house, get upstairs in the room, talk and chit-chat for a minute. Then it get around, go to that time, right? Needless to say, when I go to do me, I look in shorty panties. It's a little brown situation going on in there. So she catch me looking at it, and she looked, and she hurry up and pull them back up and was like, see, I told you I was on my... You know what come at the end of a sentence. But in my mind, I'm like, that ain't what I saw. So I ain't even hit it. It's like, I'm lying, I still hit it. So long story short, she gets dressed. She leaves after chilling for like a half hour. She straight leaves, right? Boom. So shorty wanted me to get her hat back home. I ain't had no ends. I'm talking about nothing. So she got mad at me and cussed me out because I ain't had no money to pay for her hat, right? Then she pulled out money and pay for her own hat. So she go home. The next day I called her around like 8 o'clock that night. So the girl who voice I recognized from the club, from that party, she answered the phone. That was the real Kendra, the voice that I heard on that phone originally. So I'm like, can I speak to Kendra? She like, who's this? I'm like, Dutch. I said, she like, Dutch. She like, I know you ain't calling me after you couldn't pay for me for no ride to get home, boy. Please, boy, bye. Like that. So I'm like, I know you ain't talking with that mud in your drawers. She like, what? I said, yeah, you know I'm talking about blase, right? She like, oh my goodness, I don't know what you talking about. I don't know what you talking about. Oh my goodness, what is he talking about? What is he talking about? I guess she was asking the girl that came in her place. So long story short, come to find out the girl that actually came to my house was her sister. That was her. That's why they looked so much alike. That was her sister. When I came to the porch that day to see her and her mother ain't let her come with me, her sister saw me through the window, and Kendra told her sister that she was about to stop talking to me and go back to her boyfriend because her mother wouldn't let her come around me. And her sister asked her, well, let me talk to him. And she gave her sister my number, and that's how they concocted their plan. She came over my house.